Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, I will cover the basics of a platformer, and this is version 2.0 of my platformer physics. So the first thing you want to do is to create a character and make sure it's centered, by the way. And I'm going to create a character which is a square with rounded corners, which is like this. And I'm going to flip horizontally and vertically and do that. So now that we have a character, we can drag in when green flag clicked, and we also want a physics block with run without screen refresh, and that's very important. So we want to forever physics, and in our physics block we want a if and when key right arrow pressed, and we also want a variable called x velocity for this sprite only. We want to change x velocity by 1 when right arrow is pressed. Now do the same thing with left arrow, except change it to -1. Now we want to set x velocity to whatever x velocity is times 0.9. Now we want to change x by x velocity. After we do this, we want the slope detection. It's quite simple actually, because all you need to do is drag in if touching color, and in this case I will choose black because that's the easiest. So this is our level, and this is our ceiling, and this is a slope. So make sure your level is at 0, 0. And now we want a change x or a change y by 1, and duplicate this 6 times. Like that. And now we want a change y by -5. Drag this out and add in a repeat until and a not. So repeat until not touching color, black, and drag in this change y under this repeat, and have a change x by absolute value of x velocity divided by x velocity times 0 or times -1, and change y by -5. Now we want to add in the the wall jump detection. So we want this to go to 0, 0. And we want the wall jump detection right under our change y by -5 block. So we want if key up arrow is pressed, and another if then else. So if x velocity is larger than 0, then we want to set x velocity to 5, else we want to set x velocity to -5, and we also want to set y velocity to 10. And we don't have a y velocity. So make a variable called y velocity to 10. And we also want to set x velocity to 0 over here. Now we want the change y velocity by -1 block, and a change y by y velocity. Now we want if and an if and if touching color black, then change x or change y by, well, actually it's really similar to this, so you can just copy and paste this over here. And instead of change x, you can have a change y and do that. And we also want a set y velocity to 0. And our player should also have a restart block. And for our restart block, we want it to go to a position, which is this position over here. And we also want all of this to be maybe 10. Yeah. So, and we also want to set x velocity and set y velocity to 0. And when we start, we want to restart. Now we want now what we want is the jumping detection. So we want an if touching color black and if key up arrow is pressed, then we want to set y velocity to 10. And right now this jumping detection won't work because we need a change y by -1 and another change y by 1 here. And if we go into full screen, you can see we have perfect stuff over here. Now what we want is the spikes and the other exciting things. So we want to create a spike which is red, and I'm making really bad graphics here. You should make better graphics than me. So yeah, and here's the spike, and I should also create a jump pad. Like this, and I guess water, like this, and also so there's the slope. I already proved the slope works, so here's a jump, so here's a gravity flipper, like this, and copy paste like this. Okay, so now we want to detect all of these things, so let's start with the spike. Add in an if touching color spike, which is red. Then we want to restart. Let's test this out. So, and if we touch the spike, we die. Great. Now we want the jump pad detection, which is over here. And for this, we also want an if key up arrow pressed block inside, and set y velocity to 20 and set y velocity to 15 here. What this does is if we jump on this, we go higher than usual. However, if we press the up arrow, we go even higher. So now that we have these, we also want to add in the water physics. So for the water physics, I'm going to add in some stuff here. Like this. So we want the water physics, which is over here, and we want to set y velocity to 0 and change y by -2. So let's test this out. And oh yeah, this should be like 5 or something. 5. And as you can see, we now have water detection. And you should create, like I said, better graphics because these graphics are horrible. And now we want the gravity switchers physics. So for gravity switchers, we want a new variable called gravity. And make sure it's for this sprite only. Now we want an if touching color this. We want an if then else. And if gravity is equal to down, which I use V for down because that looks like a down arrow, then we want to set gravity to up, which this is actually to the power of symbol. So this is, for in this case, an up arrow, and else we want to set it to down. So now we want in our change y by -1 block, we want an if then else, and we also want an equal sign. Gravity is equal to down. Else we want to change y velocity by 1. Let's test this out. And automatically, as we can see, we go on the ceiling. So we want to set gravity to down, like this. And now if we go up, and if we go down, it goes up and stuff like that. However, you may have noticed we can't jump. So in this loop, we want an if then else, and we also want if gravity is equal to down, then we want to set y velocity to 10. Else we want to set y velocity to -10. So if we restart the project, or actually a better way of doing this is, because we're upside down, you don't need this, and this is if gravity is equal to down. So put in an if gravity is equal to down, so it only jumps up when it's like that, and if gravity is equal to up, then set y velocity to -10. Oh yeah, and this won't work right now because this is actually not touching the color. So let's add in change y by 1 and -1, and instead of this do that, and it should work now. And as you can see, we can jump like this, and yeah, that's really cool and stuff. And one of you people asked how we can make it go to the next level without using a portal, and that's fairly easy. All you need to do is an if and x position is larger than this is 230, I think. Yep, and we want to change level by 1. So add in a new variable for this sprite only, or actually no, for all sprites. We want to change level by 1 and restart. And we also want in our other sprite to set level to 1 and forever and switch costume to level. Now if we rename this to 1 and duplicate it, get rid of all these things because I'm bad at level design, then and it goes to the next level. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and have a happy new year.